Good morning, my dear children. Again, we are back with a new class and the topic. But before we go into our subject and topic, I would like to take 2 minutes to just convey a simple message from my side. Last video, I've talked about uncertainty prevailing, and I've told you what is a moral duty to handle the situation of uncertainty because it is not in our hand. Today, I would like to tell you that there are two most important qualities of a true student. I repeat, two most important qualities of a true student. One, right thinking, which is called Vivek in Hindi. Second, faith, that is Shraddha. If you have right thinking in this uncertainty situation also, and you have faith on your teachers, you can overcome any hurdle. Children, your teachers are really working hard. They are your true guide, mentor, and they are your well wisher. If you have faith on them, please follow the instructions without any doubt. And in the end, you will find that you have come out very successfully. So be a true student, a Vidyarthi who is ready to have this hunger and quest of knowledge to be quenched by the instructions and the teachings of the teachers. विद्या को अर्जन करने वाला ही विद्यार्थी कहलाता है. So have faith and have right thinking on your teachers. I have just this much to convey to you. Thank you. Now we move on with the chapter admission of a partner, in which we have already covered two steps. If you remember, step 1, change in profit sharing ratio, step 2, accounting treatment of goodwill. We are going into another very important area at the time of reconstitution in the chapter admission of a partner. This is step 3, which is known as revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. Now, before I read it from here, let me give you a bird eye view of what is the meaning of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. When a new partner is admitted to the partnership firm, he brings two things with himself: capital and his share of premium for goodwill. This you have seen in the previous video. At that time, he acquires the ownership right on the assets and also makes himself responsible for the firm's liabilities. That means he can access freely all records and books of account to know that assets and liabilities are correctly valued or revalued. At this time, there may be certain increase or decrease in the value of assets and liabilities. Any such increase or decrease is treated as partnership profit or losses, and it should be distributed among the old partners in old ratio. So this is the need of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. So let's go. At the time of admission of a new partner, it is always desirable to ascertain whether the assets of the firm are shown in the books at their current values. In case the assets are overstated or understated, they are revalued. Similarly, reassessment of liabilities is also done as these are brought into the books at their correct values. At times, there may also be some unrecorded assets and unrecorded liabilities of the firm. These also have to be brought into the books of the firm at the time of admission of a new partner. And for this purpose, firm has to prepare a new account known as revaluation account. I repeat, revaluation account. Any gain or loss on revaluation of each asset and liability is transferred to this account, and finally its balance is transferred to the capital accounts of the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. It's important that profit and loss is transferred only to the capital accounts of the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. This is meaning of revaluation account. Hope this is clear. The meaning should be very clearly understood. Read this entire clip once again and refer your book. You will easily understand. Now we'll talk about the journal entries which are related to this topic called revaluation of assets and liabilities. So since this is revaluation account, it is a nominal account. If the revaluation account is prepared, it will either show a credit balance, which will mean it is having a net gain. If it shows a debit balance, then it means there is a net loss. And there is a third possibility, there may be neither gain nor loss. Remember, I repeat again, any gain or loss arrived at after preparing revaluation account will be transferred to the capital account of the old partners only in old ratio, which means the new partner has no share in this revaluation profit or loss. Here are the journal entries. First entry: if there is any increase in the value of an asset in the balance sheet on the date of admission of a new partner, to increase the value of the asset, the journal entry goes assets account debit to revaluation account, being increase in value of asset recorded, and increase in value of asset is a gain, so this must be taken care of. Second, for decrease in the value of an asset, the journal entry goes revaluation account debit to asset account, being decrease in the value of asset recorded, and this is a loss for the partnership firm. Third entry, appreciation in the amount of a liability appearing in the balance sheet. Entry is revaluation account debit to liability account, and this is a loss for the partnership firm. For any reduction in the amount of liability, the entry is liability account debit to revaluation account. This is again for the partnership firm. For any unrecorded assets which is not appearing in your balance sheet, the entry again is to increase the value of asset. So the same entry which we discussed in point number 1 will be repeated here. Unrecorded asset account debit to revaluation account. Whether you are increasing the value of asset or you are recording an unrecorded asset, the entry is same, asset account debit to revaluation account, being unrecorded asset recorded, and this is again for the partnership firm. So I hope these 5 entries are clear. Let's move ahead. For an unrecorded liability, the entry goes revaluation account debit to unrecorded liability account, being unrecorded liability recorded, this is a loss for the partnership firm. After all these assets and liabilities increase and decrease is recorded in the revaluation account, we finally do the balancing, and in the balance you will have either a credit balance or you may get a debit balance. If you have credit balance, then it is a revaluation profit, and the journal entry to transfer this profit to old partners capital account is revaluation account debit to old partners capital account, being revaluation profit transferred to old partners in their old ratio. This is just like at the time of profit and loss appropriation account, we transfer the net divisible profit to partners capital. Same as this entry, revaluation debit to old partners capital account. And if there is a credit balance, if there is a debit balance, then that is a loss, and for transferring loss on revaluation, the entry is opposite, old partners capital account debit to revaluation account, being revaluation loss debited to old partners capital account, and this is also in old ratio. So we have discussed all the entries related to revaluation account, and finally these entries will be posted to revaluation account, and here is the performer of revaluation account. So this is the performer of revaluation account, and you may see that assets decrease is recorded on the debit side, whereas assets increase is recorded on the credit side. This is depending on the entry number 1 and 2. First entry was for increase in asset, and second entry was for the decrease in the value of assets. Then for the liabilities, it is opposite. Increase in liabilities come on the debit side, whereas decrease on the credit side. So if you need to remember, you can remember one, decrease in asset, that means increase will come this side. If there is decrease in asset on the debit side, that means increase in liability will come on the debit side. So decrease of liability will go on the credit side. Any unrecorded asset which was recorded will come on the credit side, and unrecorded liabilities will come on the debit side. Finally, there will be either a debit balance or credit balance. If credit side is more than this debit side, it is called credit balance, and credit balance is a profit which is transferred to partners capital account. It should be old partners. The word old is missing here. Old partners capital account. But if the debit side is more than credit side, then it's loss, and loss is also transferred to old partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. I hope this is clear. Please record all the entries in your notebook and make this performer of revaluation account in your notebook. And here are few examples coming up. First example says the value of furniture is to be increased by rupees 10,000. So furniture is an asset. It is increasing. So furniture account debit to revaluation account, being increase in furniture value recorded. The second example says the value of machinery is to be brought up to 120% of its value. Book value is given as 50,000. That means there is an increase of 20%. 20%. So 20% of 50,000 will be equal to 10,000. Value of an asset is increasing. So asset machine is debited. Machine account debit. See the working here, which should not be done here. It is to be shown in working note. 10,000 to revaluation account, being increase in value of machinery recorded. Stock is undervalued by 10%. The value of stock has been given as 18,000. So this is undervalued amount 18,000. So if you apply simple mathematics, you will arrive at that the original value of stock was 20,000, whereas it is appearing at 18,000. So the difference 2,000 will be the decrease in the value of stock. So the entry goes stock debit to revaluation account. Because it was undervalued, we are increasing it now. See, the word undervalued means that the stock appearing in the balance sheet is already undervalued, which should have been more. It should have been 20,000, but it is appearing at 18,000. So we have to increase it by 2,000. So simple increase in the value of stock. Now, next example, the market value of computer is rupees 25,000. Book value of computer is 20,000. So the book value is the value which is appearing in the balance sheet of the firm. Whereas on the date of admission, when it was revalued, the market value is 25,000. This is again 5,000 understated, or it is less than the actual amount. So we have to increase the value of computers by 5,000. Computer account debit to revaluation account, being increase in value of computer recorded. Next example, unrecorded liabilities towards supplier for 1500 are to be counted. That means it is to be recorded. It is unrecorded. That means increase in liability. Increase in liability, revaluation account debit to sundry creditors account, being liability towards supplier recorded, which was earlier unrecorded. Next example, unrecorded investment exists at rupees 5,000, hence to be accounted. That means it is an unrecorded asset. We have to record it. Investment account debit to revaluation account, being unrecorded investment recorded in the books. A creditor of rupees 600 will not be claimed, hence it is to be written back. Will not be claimed means you have to decrease the value of liability by 600. So we have to decrease liability. The entry goes sundry creditors account debit to revaluation account, being 600 value of creditors to be decreased, recorded. Furniture is overvalued by 10%. The book value of furniture is given as 22,000 and it is saying that it is overvalued by 10%. So we need to find the original value of the furniture, which will come as 20,000. See the working here. 20,000, simple mathematics, and the amount is appearing at 22,000 in your books of account, which means you have to decrease the value of furniture by 2,000. The entry goes revaluation account debit 2,000 to furniture account, being decrease in the value of stock recorded. I hope these entries are clear. Based on these entries, there will be revaluation account prepared and these amount will be posted in the revaluation account, and finally profit and loss can be very easily assessed. So this is the concept of revaluation of assets and liabilities, and I should say reassessment of liabilities at the time of admission of a new partner, which is important to be done. And one more thing I need to tell you, that this revaluation account is also known as profit and loss adjustment account. I repeat, revaluation account is also known as profit and loss adjustment account. So that's all for the class today. I hope this simple topic is clear to you. You can go through this entire slide, write down everything in your copy, revise it, and then also read from your book. This will help you to understand this topic and step 3 at the time of admission of a new partner with very clear understanding. And with this, in the next class, we are moving with solving questions. We have covered 3 topics, 3 steps: change in profit sharing ratio, treatment of goodwill, and revaluation of assets and liabilities. Next 3 steps, that means partner's capital account, cash or bank account, and balance sheet, is already known to you from previous 11th class, as well as partner's capital account done in the previous chapter. So we will move ahead with questions. Before that, please clear all these 3 topics and practice it regularly. Thank you.